So are you considering investing in a second home or a vacation property in beautiful Naples, Southwest Florida? But you're kind of wondering, what do you really need to know about Florida home inspections that could impact your investment decision? Well, you've come to the right place. I'm Diane Harris, your local lifestyle and luxury property specialist based right here in Naples, Florida. And today, we're diving deep into everything you need to know about home inspections in the Sunshine State. Make sure you watch this video to the end because I have a little special bonus tip in the second half of the video that I think you're going to want to hear. So, here we go. As someone who's helped countless people make their Florida home ownership dreams come true, I can tell you that understanding the inspection process here in Florida is really crucial for home buyers, particularly those coming from out of state. So whether you're looking at that stunning waterfront condo in Naples or considering a golf course estate as your winter retreat, the inspection phase can truly make or break your deal. So let's explore what you need to know to protect your investment and ensure that your Florida property purchase goes smoothly. So why Florida home inspections are more critical than ever in 2025. So the importance of home inspections in Florida has reached new heights in 2025, especially for second home buyers investing in our unique Southwest Florida market. So unlike your primary residence up north, Florida properties face distinctive differences and challenges that make thorough inspections essential for protecting your investment. Florida's climate presents specific concerns that don't always exist in colder states. We're dealing with hurricane-force winds, flooding potential, saltwater corrosion, and high humidity levels that can create hidden problems you might never really encounter in your northern home. So these environmental factors mean that what looks perfect on the surface could be hiding some kind of expensive issues underneath. For successful people like yourselves who understand the value of due diligence in any investment, think of a home inspection as your comprehensive business audit for real estate. You wouldn't acquire a company without examining its books, and you shouldn't purchase a Florida property without having an accurate picture of its true condition. So the Florida home inspection laws and regulations in 2025 are fairly stringent. They require 120 hours of approved training and passing a state-approved test, passing a background test, and carrying general liability insurance in order to be a licensed home inspector. And we currently have a new bill that may get passed that would require them to have 200 hours of schooling and education. So there are many states, including California, Colorado, Minnesota, and Maine, that don't require a home inspector to even be licensed. That's not the case here in Florida, thank heavens. So recent data shows that nearly 1 in 8 Americans plans to buy a home in 2025, with Florida being an especially attractive choice. For second home buyers, this inspection becomes even more critical because you're often managing this purchase remotely while still residing in your northern home. So you need some confidence that your Florida investment is sound. So what should you expect during a Florida home inspection? Well, as we discussed earlier, professional home inspectors in Florida undergo rigorous training with over 120 hours of education, possibly soon to be 200. Florida also requires home inspectors to complete 14 hours of regular continuing education with a minimum of 2 hours specific to wind mitigation every other year. So this enhanced training directly benefits you as a home buyer because these inspectors help you better understand the condition of your property and its ability to withstand, kind of the unique challenges that Florida properties face. So the inspection typically takes several hours, during which a licensed professional will examine every major system in the property. They'll assess the roof covering, foundation, and structural elements, site conditions that affect the structure, plumbing systems, electrical systems, HVAC equipment, interior components of the home, and exterior components, including any pool system, deck structures, or lanai, and screening that's common in Florida properties. So the inspector will provide you with a comprehensive written report detailing their findings, but more importantly, they'll help you understand which issues are minor maintenance items versus really significant concerns that could affect your investment's value or your family's safety when you're enjoying your Florida retreat. So it's important to consider working with an agent like myself who attends the inspection in person and offers a virtual walkthrough and virtual meeting with the inspector post-inspection, which allows you to participate remotely if you're unable to be there in person. So the complete Florida home inspection checklist for smart home buyers is really understanding this checklist is going to help you know exactly what's being evaluated and what questions to ask during the process. Starting with the roof and attic inspection, this is particularly crucial in Florida where hurricane season and intense sun exposure can cause accelerated wear and tear on a roof. And inspectors, they examine the roof materials, the gutters where applicable, downspouts, attic installation, ventilation systems. So proper attic ventilation is essential for managing cooling costs during our hot Florida summers when you might not be there to monitor your energy usage. The foundation and structural assessment takes on special importance in Florida. We have some unique soil conditions and weather patterns, so inspectors look for cracks, settlement issues, structural soundness of walls, ceilings, and floors. And given Florida's limestone, bedrock, and fine sandy soil, this examination can reveal issues that might not be apparent in some northern climates. Plumbing system evaluation includes checking all your visible pipes and fixtures, water heaters for leaks and rust or pressure problems. In Florida, we have hard water, and the mineral content can cause different types of wear and tear that you might not expect from your northern property. The inspector will also assess the main water shutoff location, which is also crucial information for a property that you may not be monitoring daily. The electrical system inspection covers the main panel, the wiring, GFC outlets, and light fixtures to ensure that everything meets current code requirements and is operational. Florida's updated electrical codes are particularly stringent due to storm-related power concerns, making this assessment kind of vital for your investment safety and insurance compliance. The HVAC inspection is also a critical piece of the puzzle because, in a Florida home inspection, our climate can cause that HVAC to work overtime, particularly, and it potentially can lead to safety issues like carbon monoxide leaks or electrical hazards. So inspections check for all these risks, ensuring the system is safe for your family and is functioning as intended. So what other types of inspections should you be considering when you're purchasing a home or a condo in Florida? First on that list is a 4-point inspection. So a 4-point inspection in Florida is a type of property inspection primarily required by insurance companies, especially for older homes, to assess the condition of the roof, electrical, plumbing, and HVAC systems. It helps insurers evaluate the potential risks associated with these critical systems before issuing or renewing homeowners insurance policies. I always encourage home buyers to have a 4-point inspection done during the time of the general inspection, as the inspector will already be reviewing these systems and areas, and it will often help them secure a lower insurance rate up front. So the key aspects of a 4-point inspection focus on the 4 systems. The inspection specifically examines the roof, including its age, condition, potential for leaks. Number 2, the electrical system, so wiring, panel, etc. Plumbing, number 3, that whole system, so your piping, your water heater, etc. And the HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system. A 4-point inspection is more focused on these 4 critical systems and their functionality. So in Florida, many insurance companies require this inspection to determine the insurability of the property. But the inspection helps the insurer assess the overall condition and potential risks associated with those systems. It's a way to ensure that the property is reasonably safe and minimizes the likelihood of major claims related to these systems. A 4-point inspection can also benefit homeowners by revealing potential problems with the home's systems, allowing them to address issues and potentially lower your insurance costs in the long run. So next on that list is a wind mitigation inspection, so which in turn will give you a wind mitigation certificate. A wind mitigation inspection in Florida is a professional assessment of a home's resistance to wind damage, particularly during hurricanes. It focuses on identifying features that can mitigate wind damage and potentially qualify homeowners for insurance discounts. So the inspection examines various aspects of the home's construction, including the roof, windows, doors, and various connections between these elements to evaluate the strength and the effectiveness of wind-resistant features of a home structure. I always highly suggest having this inspection done because if the inspection report shows that your home has sufficient wind-resistant features to protect your home against hurricanes, tornadoes, and other windstorms, your insurer is required by Florida law to discount your premiums. One thing to note is that if you're purchasing a condominium in Florida, the Condo Association will most likely have a current wind mitigation report in hand. So as a realtor, or ask your realtor to request it for you, and then you can provide that to your potential insurance company for better rates. What about radon testing in Florida? Well, radon is present in Florida, and it's a naturally occurring radioactive gas that can pose health risks. While Florida is considered to have some of the lowest radon levels in the U.S., it's still present, and 1 in 5 homes may have elevated levels above the recommended action level. So radon mitigation, however, is relatively simple and not crazy expensive. So it is worth having a discussion with your inspector prior to the general home inspection to discuss their recommendation as for having a radon testing done based on the area or the community that you're purchasing in. And now, can we talk termites? Well, in Florida, termite inspections, also known as wood-destroying organisms, WDO, those inspections may be required for real estate transactions when a mortgage is involved, occasionally. So these inspections are conducted by a licensed pest control operator, and they're looking for signs of active infestations, past damage, and conditions that make a property susceptible to termites or other wood-destroying organisms. You know you're wondering what I haven't mentioned is mold inspections. There you go. In Florida, mold inspections involve assessing a property for mold growth, identifying moisture issues, and testing air quality to determine the presence and extent of mold. Home inspectors in Florida can perform mold inspections within certain limitations, but a state licensed mold assessor is required for more extensive assessments and remediation. Inspectors visually examine the property, including areas prone to moisture like bathrooms, basements, and around various plumbing fixtures. They're looking for visible mold growth and for signs of water damage. Tools are detectors and other sensors are used to detect hidden moisture, which can indicate potential mold problems. Air and surface samples may be collected and sent to a laboratory for analysis to identify the type and concentration of mold present, if it is. An outdoor air sample is taken to establish a baseline for normal mold levels, and then it's compared to indoor samples. The inspector will provide a detailed report with the findings, including the location of the mold if it's there, and the type of mold if identified. And then they'll have recommendations for remediations as well. So additional inspections that are specific to location include septic inspections and water well pump and water quality inspections if you're purchasing a home that does not have access to public water and sewer. So how about selecting the right licensed home inspector in Florida for 2025? So to find a qualified home inspector in Florida, prioritize those people with licensing, experience, and positive reviews. Look for inspectors who are full-time professionals, that they have certifications from reputable organizations like the NACHI, and carry both liability and errors and omissions insurance. Seek recommendations from trusted sources like your real estate agent, because we work with them all the time, and then verify their credentials and experience through the state's licensing board and through professional organizations. Checking a company's reviews can be very, very enlightening and helpful. I always suggest that. So personally, I recommend experienced credentials inspectors to offer detailed digital reports with photos, videos, since you can review the inspection results from your primary residence and easily save them. This documentation becomes particularly valuable for future reference and for maintenance planning. So let's talk briefly about understanding milestone condo inspections for high-rise condominiums here in Florida. So milestone condo inspections in 2025 represent a critical consideration for home buyers interested in Florida's popular condominium lifestyle. So these specialized inspections have become mandatory for buildings meeting certain age criteria and height criteria, as well as location, and they can significantly impact your investment decision. Florida enacted strict structural inspection requirements following tragic events, and it highlighted the importance of regular building assessments. These milestone inspections are required for buildings that are 3 stories or taller and 30 years old or older, or 25 years old if located within 3 miles of the coastline. So given that many desirable condo properties in Naples and Southwest Florida fall within coastal areas, understanding these requirements is really essential. So the inspection process examines structural elements, building envelope integrity, and life safety systems. For potential condo buyers, this creates both opportunities and considerations. Properties that have recently completed successful milestone inspections may command premium prices due to their verified structural integrity, while properties approaching this inspection deadline might present some negotiation opportunities or give you some caution signs. So these inspections must be conducted by licensed engineers, architects, and the findings can result in required repairs or improvements. So with the results of a milestone inspection, associations are required to have an official Structural Integrity Reserve Study, or SIRS, completed as well. So the goal of this study is to ensure adequate funding for future repairs and replacements of these structural components when their time comes up. And so underfunded reserves mean upcoming assessments. Solid funding can potentially mean a very well-managed and maintained building and community. When considering a condo purchase, based on the building's age, request documentation of the milestone inspection and the SIRS, and if the inspection has been completed, review those findings and look through any resulting repairs that they're suggesting. So if the inspection is pending, understand that special assessments might be forthcoming and kind of factor this into the elements of your investment analysis. So how home inspections can make or break your Florida real estate deal. So understanding how home inspections affect the Florida real estate deal is crucial for home buyers who may navigate the details, negotiations, and the other parts of the closing process from a distance. So the inspection phase often becomes a pivotal moment where deals are solidified or they fall apart. So in Florida's competitive real estate market, inspection contingencies serve as an essential safeguard for buyers while requiring careful strategy for successful deal completion. So these contractual provisions allow you to conduct a comprehensive property assessment before finalizing your purchase. Smart home buyers use inspection findings strategically rather than emotionally. Minor cosmetic issues shouldn't derail a deal or a property in a desirable location, while significant structural or system problems warrant some serious consideration. For vacation properties, prioritize issues that could affect your safety as a family, or require immediate attention, since you won't necessarily be present to monitor developing problems. The inspection report will likely identify multiple issues, which is normal for any property of any age, really. So when reviewing the inspection report, focus on the safety concerns, major system failures, and items that could lead to expensive repairs if they're left unaddressed. If the property has significant non-cosmetic issues, it's an opportunity to use the inspection findings to negotiate repairs, credit at closing, price reductions, rather than just walking away from what is an otherwise desirable property. So Florida's real estate contracts include specific timeframes for completing inspections and requesting repairs or adjustments. The contracts are also very specific about what can and cannot be requested to be repaired or replaced for a home inspection. So ensure that you're working with a licensed realtor and an experienced realtor like myself who understands your priorities and decision-making criteria and is also capable of negotiating any allowed repairs that are really needed. So how about now some advanced Florida home inspection tips for sophisticated buyers? So the most effective Florida home inspection tips in 2025 recognize that second home buyers bring different perspectives and requirements to your process. So your experience with property ownership and business decision making provides advantages, but Florida's unique environment requires specific considerations. Tip number 1, schedule your inspection during a time when you can participate, either in person or virtually. Many home buyers find value in being present virtually or in person for at least the end of the inspection. So that's when the inspector is going to summarize their findings, and at that time, they can answer your specific questions about the property's condition and maintenance requirements. And it's nice to have a realtor that can call you virtually and discuss all of that with the inspector on hand. So number 2, prepare targeted questions based on your intended use of the property. If this will be your winter retreat, ask about systems that will be unused during summer months and any maintenance requirements for extended vacancy periods. For investment properties, focus on items that could affect rental income or require immediate capital expenditure. Number 3, consider requesting additional specialized inspections beyond the standard home inspection. A 4-point inspection and wind mitigation inspections serve to potentially reduce your insurance costs, while mold and termite inspections take on added importance in our subtropical climate based on what the general inspection finds. So number 4, document everything thoroughly, especially if you're managing a purchase remotely. A good inspection company will provide detailed photo and video documentation of any concerning findings. And don't hesitate to ask for clarification or additional investigation of items that could affect your investment decision. So many buyers have found that investing slightly more in comprehensive inspections up front can save you significant money and possible stress later. Number 5, review the inspection report carefully and consult with your real estate agent, your inspector, and local professionals if necessary about any findings that you don't fully understand. Florida's unique building practices and environmental changes mean that some issues might be more or less significant than similar findings would be in your primary residence location. So as we wrap up our comprehensive look at Florida home inspections, remember that this process is your opportunity to make an informed investment decision about your piece of paradise right here in Southwest Florida. So for home buyers, approaching the inspection strategically rather than emotionally leads to better outcomes. Use this process to validate your purchase decision, negotiate favorable terms if needed, and gain valuable knowledge about your future Florida property's maintenance needs. So I hope this comprehensive guide helps you navigate the inspection process with confidence as you pursue your Florida property dreams. As always, I'm here to help you transition from the life you're living to the life you dream about here in beautiful Naples, Florida. And until next time, this is Diane Harris. I'm reminding you that paradise is waiting, and with the right knowledge and preparation, your Florida home can provide decades of enjoyment and financial success. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope you found this video helpful in learning all about Home Inspections 101 in Florida. And if you like this video and want to know more about the real estate market in Southwest Florida, I have a bunch of videos in a playlist. Just click on the box on the screen to watch. Also, you could check out the description to watch more relevant videos. And to connect with me directly, my contact info is in the description box below. And remember, subscribe to the channel and follow me on those socials. Hit the bell icon so you'll get all the updates. I hope this video was helpful, and I really truly hope it helps you love the way you live here in Southwest Florida. And please comment below if you have any questions or some ideas for future videos. Thanks again for watching. I'm Diane Harris, and I'll see you in the next video.